His Excellency, the High Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for your coming here and participating in this ceremony, Janmashtami, Advent of Krishna. The subject matter I have been ordered to speak on is Advent of Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma me dibbam, ju janati tat takta deham punar janma noiti mameti kaum. This fact that we can achieve such a stage of life when we can stop our birth and death. So amritattaya kalpate. This morning I was explaining this verse. Jangna bhathayanti iti purusang purusara samas dukkha sukham dhiram sa amritattaya kalpate. Amritatta means immortality. So, the modern civilization, they have no idea, either the great philosopher, great politician or great scientist, that it is possible to attain the stage of immortality. Amritatta. We are all Amrita. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, na jayate na amriyate va kadachi. We living entities, we never die, never take birth. Nitya sasatayang nahannate hannamane sarire. Every one of us, we are eternal, nitya. Shasana Purana, the oldest. And after annihilation of this body, we do not die. Nahannate. The body is finished, but I have to accept another body. Tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatta namayati. Dehinasmin yatha dehe kaumanang jauvanang jara. This simple thing, at the present moment, they are lacking knowledge. That we all living entities, part and parcel of Krishna, we are eternal. We are blissful and we are cognizant. Krishna is described in the Vedic Shastra. Ishara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radi Govinda Sarvakarana Karana. Sachidananda Vigraha. God, Krishna, when I speak Krishna, that means God. If there is any important name, God, it is sometimes said God has no name, that's a fact. But God's name is given by his activities. Just like Krishna accepted the sonhood of Maharaj Nanda, or Jasoda, mine, or Devaki, or Vasudev. Vasudev and Devaki were Krishna's real father and mother. Nobody is real father and mother of Krishna, because Krishna is the original father of everyone. But when Krishna comes here, advents, he accepts some devotee as his father, as his mother. Krishna is the original, Adi Purusam, Adyam Purana Purusam, Navajauvanancha. He is the original person. They must be very old. No. Adyam Purana Purusam Navajauvanancha. Always fresh youth. That is Krishna. When Krishna was on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, you have seen the picture, he's just like a boy of 20 years, or at most 24 years old. But at that time he had great-grandchildren. Therefore, Krishna is always youth. Navajauvanancha. These are the statements of Vedic literature. Advaita yachyuta yanadi ananta rupam adyam purana purusam navajauvanancha. Vedeshu dullava adullava atmabhakto. So, to understand Krishna, simply if we read as a formality the Vedic literature, it will be very difficult to understand what is Krishna. Vedeshu dullava. Although all the Vedas are meant for understanding Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vedya. Ahameva vedya. What is the use of studying Vedas if you do not understand Krishna? Because the ultimate goal of education means to understand the supreme law, the supreme father, the supreme cause, as it is said in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadasya jataha athata Brahma jigyasa, to discuss about the supreme, absolute truth, Brahma. What is that Brahma? Janmadasya jataha. That Brahma means wherefrom everything emanates. So science, philosophy means to find out the ultimate cause of everything. That we are getting from the Shastras, Vedic literature, that Krishna is the cause of all causes. Sarva karana karanam. Sarva karana karanam. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Cause of all causes. Just like try to understand, I am caused by my father. My father is caused by his father. He is caused by his father, go on searching. Then you will ultimately come to somebody who is the cause, but he has no cause. Anadi Radi Govinda. I may be cause of my son, but I am also result of the cause, my father. But the Shastra says that Anadi Radi, he is the original person, but he has no cause. That is Krishna. Therefore Krishna says that Janma Karma me Dibvam ju janati tattva. The advent of Krishna, it is very important thing. We should try to understand Krishna, why he advents, why he comes on this material world. What is his business? What are his activities? If we simply try to understand Krishna, then what is the result? The result is takta dehang punarjanma naiti mameti kaunti. You get that immortality. The aim of life is to achieve immortality. Amritataya kalpata. So, In the advent of Krishna, we shall try to understand the philosophy of Krishna. His Excellency was speaking of peace. The peace formula is there, spoken by Krishna. What is that? Bhoktaram Jagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram Sridam Sarvabhutanam Gyata Ma Shanti. If the politicians, diplomats, they are trying to establish peace in the world, the United Nations is there, and there are many other organizations. They are trying to have real peace and tranquility, no misunderstanding between man to man, nation to nation. But if that is not happening, the defect is that in the root is wrong. Everyone is thinking, it is my country, it is my family, it is my society, it is my property. This mind is illusion. In the Shastra it says, Janasya moho aham mameti. This I and my philosophy is illusion. So this illusion means Maya. Maya, if you want to get out of this illusion, Maya, then you have to accept the Krishna's formula. Mame vaja prapaddante maya me tang taranti. Everything is there in the Bhagavad Gita for guidance. If we accept the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita as it is, everything is there, peace is there, prosperity is there. So that is a fact. Unfortunately, we do not accept it. That is our misfortune. Or we misinterpret it. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyaji mang namaskuru. Krishna says that you always think of me. Manmana bhavamad bhakta. Become my devotee. Madhyaji, you worship me. Mang namaskuru, and offer obeisances unto me. Is it very difficult task? Here is Krishna's deity. If you think of this deity Radha Krishna, is it very difficult? Manmana. You come into the temple and just as a devotee, offer your respect to the deity, Manmana bhavamadha. As far as possible, try to worship the deity, Patram puspam phalam toyam, Jomi bhakta prajachyati. Krishna does not want your whole property. Krishna is open to the poorest man for being worshipped. What he is asking? He says, Patram puspam phalam toyam jomi bhakta prajachyati. With devotion, if a person offers me a little leaf, a little fruit, a little water, I accept. Krishna is not hungry, but Krishna wants to make you devotee. That is the main point. Jome bhakta prajachyati. That is the main principle. If you offer Krishna little things, Krishna is not hungry. Krishna is providing food for everyone. Ekajo bahunang vidadhati kama. But Krishna wants your love, your devotion. Therefore he is begging, little patram puspam phalam tuyam, manmana bhavamanta. There is no difficulty in understanding Krishna and to accept Krishna consciousness. But we will not do that. That is our disease. Otherwise it is not difficult at all. And as soon as we become devotee of Krishna, we understand the whole situation. Our philosophy, Bhagavad philosophy, is also communism, because we consider Krishna the Supreme Father, and all living entities, they are all sons of Krishna. So Krishna says that he is the proprietor of all planets, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Therefore, whatever there is, either in the sky or in the water or in the land, they are all Krishna's property. And because we are all sons of Krishna, therefore every one of us has the right to use Father's property. But we should not encroach upon others. This is the formula of peace. Ma grida kasya siddhanam, ishavastamidam sarvam. Everything belongs to God. You are sons of God. You have got the right to use Father's property, but do not take more than you need. That is punishment. These things are stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Stena eva sauchat in Bhagavad Gita. He is a thief. If anyone takes more than he needs, then he is a thief. Jagyartha karmannatra lokayam karma mandana. If for the satisfaction of Krishna, Jagga means Krishna. Krishna's another name is Jaggeshwara. So, you act for Krishna, you take prasadam Krishna. What we are teaching here, in this temple, we are reciting Americans, Indians, Englishmen, Canadian, Africans, different parts of the world. You know that. Not only in this temple, all over the world. But when we forget this philosophy, that Krishna is the Supreme Father, Krishna is the Supreme Proprietor, Krishna is the Supreme Enjoyer, and Krishna is the Supreme Friend of everyone. When we forget this, then we come into this material world and struggle for existence, fight with one another. This is material life. So you cannot get the politicians, diplomats or the philosophers, they have tried so much, but actually nothing has become fruitful. Just like this United Nations, it was organized after the Second Great War, and they wanted that peacefully we shall settle everything. But there is no such thing. The fighting is going on between Pakistan and India, between Vietnam and America, and this and that. It is not the process. The process is Krishna consciousness. Everyone has to understand this fact that we are not proprietor. Proprietor is Krishna. That's a fact. Just like America. Say 200 years ago, the Americans, the European migrators, they are not proprietor. Somebody was proprietor. Before them somebody was proprietor, or it was vacant land. The actual proprietor is Krishna. But artificially you are claiming that it is my property. Janasya mohoyam ahagama meti. This is called Maya. So Krishna advents for give us lesson. Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharat. Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, I come when there is discrepancies in the process of religious life. Dharmasya grani bhavati. And what is dharma? The simple definition of dharma is dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. This is dharma. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whatever, just like, what do you mean by law? Law means the word given by the state. You cannot make law at home. That is not possible. Whatever the government gives you, that you should act like this, that is law. Similarly, dharma means the direction given by God. That is dharma. Simple definition. You create dharma. I created this dharma, another man creates another dharma. These are not dharma. Therefore, where the Bhagavad Gita ends, that sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam. This is dharma. To surrender to Krishna. Any other dharma, they are not dharma. Otherwise, why Krishna asked sarva dharman parityajya? Give up. He said that dharma samasthapanarthaya sambhavami juge juge. I advance to establish the principles of religion. And at last he says, sarva dharman parityajya. That means the so-called dharmas that you have manufactured, man-made dharma, they are not dharmas. Dharma means what is given by God. But we have no understanding what is God and what is His word. That is the modern civilization defect. But the order is there, God is there, we won't accept. Where is the possibility of peace? The order is there. Krishna says, the Supreme Bhagavan Uvacha. Vasudev writes, Bhagavan Uvacha. One should know what is Bhagavan. Vasudev could have written Krishna Uvacha. No. He says, if one may misunderstand Krishna, therefore he writes in every stanza, every verse, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So Bhagavan is there. Bhagavan is speaking. Bhagavan is accepted by all the acharyas, Ramanucharya, Madhacharya, Vishnu Shami, latest Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even Shankaracharya, he also accepts Krishna, Sabhagavan Swayam Krishna. So the verdict of the modern acharyas, and in the past also, Vasudev, Narad, Osita, everyone accepted Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna, who heard from Krishna after understanding Bhagavad Gita, he said, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhava, Purusham, Adyam, Shasvata. So everything is there. Especially in India, we have got so much asset for understanding God. Simple thing. Everything is there, ready-made. But we won't accept. So what is the remedy for such disease? We are searching after peace, but we won't accept anything which is actually giving us peace. This is our disease. So this Krishna consciousness movement is trying to awaken the dormant Krishna consciousness in everyone's heart. Otherwise, how these Europeans and Americans and other countrymen, they never heard of Krishna 4 or 5 years ago. How they are taking Krishna consciousness so serious. Krishna consciousness is there in everyone's heart. It has to be awakened only. That is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadha Kavu Nor Sravanadi Suddha Chitte Karaye Udar. It is awakened. Love for Krishna, devotion for Krishna is there within everyone's heart. But he has forgotten. So this Krishna consciousness movement is simply meant for awakening that Krishna consciousness. This is the process. Just like when you are sleeping, I have to call you loudly. Mr. Satan, get up, you have got this business. No other senses will act when you are sleeping, but the ear will act. Therefore, in this age, when people are so fallen, they will not hear anything. If we chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he will be awakened to Krishna consciousness. This is practical. So actually, if we are anxious for peace and tranquility in the society, then we must be very serious to understand Krishna. That is our request. Don't take it neglectfully, the Krishna consciousness movement. This movement can solve all the problems of life, all the problems in the world, social, political, philosophical, religious, economical, everything can be solved by Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we request those who are leaders, just like His Excellency is present here, you should try to understand this Krishna consciousness movement. It is very scientific, authorized. It is not a mental concoction or sentimental movement. It is most scientific movement. So, we are inviting all leaders from all countries, try to understand. If you are sober, if you are actually reasonable, you will understand that this Krishna consciousness movement is the sublime movement for welfare of the whole human society. That's a fact. Anyone may come. We are prepared to discuss this subject matter. Krishna bhuliya jiva bhagavan chakare. We should not. Our human life, the ultimate goal of human life is to achieve immortality. Takta deham punarjanmane. This is our, we have forgotten this. We are simply leading the life of cats and dogs without any knowledge that we can achieve that perfection of life when there will be no more birth, no more death. We do not understand even that there is possibility of amritattvam. But everything is possible. Amritattvam. Nobody wants to die. That's a fact. Nobody wants to become old man. Nobody wants to become diseased. This is our natural inclination. Why? Because originally in our spiritual form there is no birth, no death, no old age, no disease. So after evolutionary process, down from the aquatics, birds, beasts and plants, trees, when you come to this form of human form of body, after asiting chaturang chaiva lokhang sang jivajati, this is evolutionary process. We come to the human form of body. Then we should know what is the goal of life. The goal of life is amritattva, to become immortal. That you can become immortal simply by becoming Krishna conscious. Krishna says, it is a fact. We have to simply understand Janma karma me dibbam ju janati tattata. If you try to understand Krishna in truth, tattata, then takta deham punarjanma naiti. After giving up this body, you don't accept any more material body. And as soon as you don't accept any material body, means you become immortal. Because by nature we are immortal. So Krishna advanced. Krishna advanced to teach us this lesson, that you are immortal by nature. As spirit soul, you are part and parcel of me. I am as immortal, so you are also immortal. Unnecessarily, you are trying to be happy in this material world. Mamaivangsha jiva bhuta jiva loke sanatana mana sasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karsat. Simply struggle for unnecessarily. The best thing is that you have enjoyed sense life in so many varieties of life, as cats, as dogs, as demigod, as tree, as plants, as insect. Now, in this human form of life, don't be captivated by sensuous life. Just try to understand Krishna. That is the verdict of the Shastra. Nayang deha deho bhajang niloke kastan kaman arhati vidbhujagji. To work very hard like dogs and hogs for sense gratification is not the ambition of human life. Human life is meant for little austerity. Kapo dibbam putraka jena suddheta satya. We have to purify our existence. That is the mission of human life. And why I shall purify my satta existence? Brahma sukham anantam. Then you get unlimited pleasure, unlimited happiness. That is real pleasure. Ramante yogina anante satyanandi chidatmani. Iti ramapade naso parabrahma iti avidhiyat. So, at least in India, all the great personalities, saintly persons, sages and acharyas, they have cultivated this spiritual knowledge so nicely and fully, and you are not taking advantage of it. It is not that those shastras and directions are meant for the Indians or for the Hindus or for Brahmins. No, it is meant for everyone. Because Krishna claims, Sarvajonishu samkaunteya sambhavanti murtaya tasang mahadbrahma joni ahoga bija padapita. Krishna claims that I am everyone's father. Therefore he is very much anxious to make us peaceful, happy, just like the father wants to see his son is well situated and happy. Similarly, Krishna also wants to see every one of us happy and well situated. Therefore he comes sometimes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati. This is the purpose of Krishna's advent. So those who are servants of Krishna, devotees of Krishna, they should take the mission of Krishna. They should take up the mission of Krishna. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's version. Amar agyay guru hoiya taro ei desh, jare dakho tare kaho Krishna upodesh. Krishna upodesh. Just try to preach what Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita. That is the duty of every Indian. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bharat bhumite manusya janma hoila ja, janma sarthak kori karo paropokar. So Indians are meant for paropokar. Indians are not made for exploiting others. That is not Indian business. Indian history is all along for Paropakar. And formerly, from all parts of the world, used to come to India to learn what is spiritual life. Even Jesus Christ went there. And from China and from other countries, that is history. And we are forgetting our own asset. How much? We are careless. Such a great movement, Krishna consciousness, is going on all over the world. But our Indians are careless. Our government is careless. They do not take. That is our misfortune. But it is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. He says, any Indian, Bharat Bhumite Manusya Janma, if he is human being, he must make his life perfect by taking advantage of this Vedic literature and distribute the knowledge all over the world. That is Paropakar. So India can do, they are actually appreciating. These Europeans, American young men, they are appreciating that how great, I get daily dozens of letters, how they are benefited by this movement. Actually, that is the fact. It is giving the life for the dead man. So, I shall especially request the Indians, especially His Excellency, kindly cooperate with this movement and try to make successful your life and others' life. That is the mission of Krishna, advent of Krishna. Thank you very much.